All right. So as you guys are aware, State of Play, this past State of Play, Sony State of Play, they announced the Tides of Annihilation, which is made by a Chinese studio.
Correct.
Of course,
I don't think a lot of people know that.
I don't think a lot of people do, because it's the girl doesn't really look like it does. It doesn't have that China. It's not part of the China hero.
Well, it doesn't look like anything Western developed.
Yeah, 𝐿𝐾, you can tell that's Chinese and stuff like that. This was just put on the map on the State of Play. And it really, I mean, everyone's talking about it now.
So, like, I've never heard of this game before.
I did not
at all.
Yeah, I did not. I was not tracking this game, and this is the kind of game I would track. All right, so this game, I would say they did extended gameplay. Now, people talk about, you know, this is what gets me. People are like, oh my God, Intergalactic. This is going to be, it's made by Naughty Dog. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Or what is it? The sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. What's the game called?
Ghost of 𝐬𝐻𝐫.
Yeah, Ghost of 𝐬𝐻𝐫. Oh my God, that game looks amazing. And you hardly have any gameplay for either.
Yeah, it's always just like cutscenes.
And then that's not the only one. There's a few others that people are just, oh my, wow. Even the new one, Sorrow, that's coming out. The Witcher 4, only some gameplay.
Yeah.
These guys, a Chinese dev, dropped an 11.5-minute gameplay trailer, and it was great. But let's break down the summary, and then I'm going to play that trailer, and we're going to watch it while we talk about it. Okay, so anyway, it takes place in modern-day London. This is where it gets me, dude. Like this, if I was dreaming, I would think of a perfect Souls game. Like everything that I love in fantasy, this is a game.
Yeah.
I don't, it could be okay, whatever, but I'm going to love the hell out of it just because the way it is set up. But anyway, it takes place in modern day London, which is ravaged by mystical, otherworldly forces. You play as Gwendolyn. I'm assuming it's a play on words from Guinevere, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming she is a descendant of Arthur or something like that.
Gotcha.
She's dangerous looking. That one look in that trailer when she turns.
She doesn't look like a dude whatsoever.
She turns and gives you that like, oh, I can fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then walks away. That sexy look, but also dangerous as hell, a badass.
Watch out, you're going to sound like
how
a gooner.
You're supposed to mate. Well, this is the epitome of female empowerment.
But that's the thing is, like, this is what we want. This is the type of people, this is what we want.
You want this personifies, a powerful woman.
Yeah.
That's why she has all these powers. But the coolest thing, dude, with being, I guess, a descendant of Arthur or something like that. Anyway, you explored London's iconic landmarks and calling in the spectral Knights of the Round Table. So her powers, as you play through the game, you gain each one of the Knights of the Round Table. You gain their powers. You can summon them in battle.
Lancelot, Percival.
Hell yeah. I saw Galahad. He was that big motherfucker. In that, no, you'll see him in the trailer. You can see Galahad. I know that's Galahad. But yeah, it's everything in the story is revolving around Arthurian mythos. All right, so it's a very Legend of Arthur kind of tale. All right, so let me go ahead and go to the trailer as we talk about it a little bit more.
I forgot Merlin.
They might play into that. Maybe a descendant of Merlin. That's a companion that you meet later. Who knows?
What about Archimedes, the owl from the Sword and the Stone?
What? Now you're just saying. All right, so that's a start screen.
Yeah.
I don't know when this game is coming out. They don't have.
It looks like it's ready. It's ready to go.
It's ready. It does. It looks like this game. This is more ready than any game that we know that's coming out.
This game looks more ready than Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll play as we talk. Dude, look at that starting screen.
I know. Look at that, man.
And she's cool looking.
I want to say this. So when this game came out, it'll be in our mean tweets, but we got like cussed out because we said this was a good game and it was made by Eastern developers.
We have eyes.
Yeah, they're like, well, Western graphics aren't everything. Yeah. Well, it kind of is. It's a lot to it. Graphics and gameplay.
For people that are listening to this podcast later on Apple or Spotify, basically what the gameplay is showing of you walking through the torn down streets of London. Where these otherworldly forces come through. And the sights and views are breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like they're really good. Their artwork and everything.
It's like a mixture of like modern buildings and medieval type stuff.
It's what you would expect in like a game from Software, right? The artwork, the Elden Ring art style of just everything, part of the.
That's a good way to say it. Elden Ring mixed with like modern day.
This is like Devil May Cry and Elden Ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Grant. You know what other game this reminds me of with the Knights of the Round summons that you can combo with?
What?
Think about it. Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, that's true.
With the icons.
That is true.
That's what it reminds me of. Except it is this combat belongs in a game like this, right?
And that
It doesn't.
combat's
I don't think
smooth,
it really
man.
belongs in a Final Fantasy 16. You know what I mean, like that, or like what you expect a Final Fantasy to be. But this is what I expected to be. That's Galahad. You know,
Yeah, that's tight, man.
But there's also finishing moves that you can do where you take the enemy's weapons and just
So you get like Galahad at the beginning, like
this is probably, I would say, this is probably like a few hours into the game.
Gotcha,
when you got a few powers.
So it didn't go from like the start screen to brand new.
No.
Gotcha.
Unless this is the beginning and you lose those powers and
Maybe
you have to refind them. I don't know.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, so this one, all it is doing is showcasing combos and like the powers of all your knights and stuff like that, and how you can use them constantly in combo streams.
Yeah.
I mean, like this, like he's showing an enemy getting frozen, and eventually once you can get him weak and you see that red dot on him like that, I think that's when you can actually do the finisher on him. And I think that's what she's about to do right now.
Oh, man.
So what she's doing is grabbing for the listeners, she's grabbing the axe of the enemy and pretty much just smashing them. Then it's just like, you're going through levels, jumping. I mean, the world is good. You can collect stuff. Let's fast forward a little bit. But I mean, like the scenes in this game are just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, dude. Look at that, man.
And look how it transitions. Now so it transitioned from like you were on a street level. Water came in, and then she changed gravity, and now
it looks like the movie Inception.
Does it not?
Yeah. So think about how the buildings were running up them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's basically what
buildings
it looks
just coming out of nowhere. Everything's changing. It looks like Inception.
That's pretty, man. And yes, this is an Eastern Game studio, dude.
I mean, just like that's amazing, dude.
I mean, this is what you make when you care.
And look at the environment. Like they're taking London and like famous attractions in London and breaking it down into like it's been ravaged.
God, look at that, man. It's a big, I don't know what that is.
Just like some type of dragon boss, or looks like a whale, I think.
Looks like that thing from Final Fantasy X.
Let's get to the boss fight before we wrap this up. There it is. All right, so this one is going into, I guess, one of the bosses of the game. I don't know if she's someone that you can grab her powers after you beat her. I know that's how you get them, is you go through bosses that you gain the powers from. So they're knights of the rounds that have been tainted. Basically, like they were knights of the round table and they were tainted by something. And they were like tainted long ago, and they just started to, descend on London and pretty much fuck it up. But like the art style, I mean, just like this.
Oh, she's a mage, so she might be the descendant of Merlin, the other girl.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yep.
I just solved it for you. Just figured it all out.
But look at the art style. Like, look at the girl. Like that is, I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is,
it's great character design. And that's what gamers want.
Exactly. We don't care if the protagonist is a female.
She's not, just completely ridiculous costume-wise.
Yeah.
She's empowered. Correct. She has, just a great style to her.
Yeah. And she's not gooned out. She's not super gooned out like Stellar Blade.
But they want her to be attractive.
Correct.
That's what the basis
until the mods get a hold of it. But
if she's a descendant of Guinevere, it makes sense for her to be attractive.
Yeah.
Because Guinevere was known to be beautiful in the story.
Can you imagine what the
mods are going to be crazy? But just great action sequences. So right now, she's fighting another girl, and I'm assuming she's one of the knights of the round that got tainted, and she's basically trying to defeat her to get her powers, or eventually get her powers. I mean, and now the entire ring just turned into just like blood-looking glass on the ground. So you're transitioning. Now the whole thing's upside down. The entire level is upside down.
I mean, just look at those moves, dude.
Yeah. Anyone, you got to go check out this extended gameplay trailer. I recommend it.
Yeah.
Now we're trying to not, do too many videos since this is a podcast, but we also do YouTube, but it's mainly a podcast.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure the listeners understand what's going on. But if you guys haven't seen it, go check out the extended gameplay trailer, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great, man. Dude, I haven't seen a game this good since Elden Ring.
But I mean, still, geez, like, come on,
God, man. Look at that, dude.
And now she's smashing her through the wall. All right, let's wrap that up. This is this is another boss. I think this is the samurai guy. These are they're just showing flashes of different fights.
Yeah. I mean, it's just phenomenal, man. The way, and God, man.
And a dragon. Then you fight these. Also, part of the fighting is these huge Goliaths that you fight.
Yeah.
These are old knights that were tainted.
And she's on a dragon now. Damn,
that's just cool. That's
just out.
But yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 16 combat with a Souls game, but more fast paced, more action. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a really good game. Just from looking at it, you can tell it's going to be a good game.
You don't think we're overhyping it, do you?
I don't think so at all. I think it's going to be a great game.
It's not going to be like Anthem, is it? I'd be so hurt.
No, it's not live service, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's not EA.
That is true.
You don't have to worry about that. It's Chinese dev that
I
are
gotcha.
they're just taking their giant nuts and just smacking them, slapping them on the table, and the Eastern devs are in their rainbow flags staring at them.